Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Today I'll be building these new and improved advanced pauldrons for my new cardboard knight armor set. Enjoy. Okay, so before we design these pauldrons, I have these two sheets of cardboard right here I got from a grocery store box. They're very stiff and the quality is just very good. So the dimensions of them are at least a foot. In this case, would be 13 inches by 22, I think. 23.5 by 13 inches. Just make sure it's at least a foot tall. And if you've noticed, the thing I'm working on is wider than it is tall because these pauldrons are going to be very big. They're going to wrap around the knight's body. Here are my old pauldrons from my most popular videos ever. I love the knight pauldrons, and the thing that drew me towards them is their asymmetrical design. Some knights have them, and some knights have symmetrical pauldrons, which is what we're building now. But I just love that one of them had this fin, and that they were just so big, and I just, the shape, the geometry, just, I fell in love with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to build two symmetrical pauldrons, and then we're going to build an attachment for jousting that has this rim on it, and you can take it off so you can have more flexibility. But the problem with these is they are very strong because I use spackle and drywall material to seal it, and there's a bunch of material on it. The maneuverability and flexibility is just not good at all. See how it does such a good job at covering the side of me and even the front of me whenever I have a weapon. But look, if I raise my arm, it goes straight into my neck. So what we want to do is cut out a slot right here on the new pauldrons, something like this, so it has room, my arm has room to go up into the pauldrons. So I started off by sketching out a basic shape. There is the notch I plan to cut out, but after cutting out this basic shape, I just take the piece I cut off and glue them on the other side so I can make it even. And then I'm cutting out 4 and only 4 for now because I can always add more slits, but these are just simple, long, narrow slits that I'm cutting out because whenever you bend the cardboard and glue them back together, they will create the shape you're looking for. I got 2 copies of that same piece. I just traced on the thing I cut out onto the other piece of cardboard. Like I said, I'm just bending the cardboard. The more you break it in, the better and more easy it will be to re-glue back together. We might need to put more seams in depending on what the shape's going to end up looking like after these 4 are glued together. But notice how whenever I'm pulling a design out of my head from scratch, you want to start small because you can always subtract more cardboard. So don't subtract too much right off the bat. So let's glue these together and see where we're at. Okay, so this is where we got. And at first glance, I'm like, it's way too wide. However, I just needed to break the cardboard in a little bit around the edges like this, like how I'm doing right now. Just break it in every way. And then it's a lot more soft, which is great. So now it fits around my shoulder amazingly. We still haven't cut this out yet, which I plan to do. I cut 2 slits on the end and then just overlapped, glued them on this piece, of course. And when I did that, I made sure I glued it tighter together than the actual, I guess, radius that this is opened up at. So when I glue these 2 together, it will pull it together. So intentionally make this piece curl in more than the pauldron, so it pulls it in tightly. So what we're gonna do is just glue these 2 pieces together with Gorilla Glue and hot glue. Alright, there are our pauldrons. Nice. Alright, before we move any further with the pauldrons, we need to attach them to a gorget. Now in order to make this, I'm taking a look at my other gorget for my Dutch knight. It's essentially this piece right here minus the facial protection. So let's build one of those. 2 pieces of cardboard, one has to be shorter than the other. It doesn't matter how wide it is. We're going to modify that anyway. So the inside radius just needs to be smaller than the outside radius. So as I glue it, I'm bending the cardboard inwards so the glue dries and it's already in a resting pose that is curled over my shoulders and collarbone. Now I just gotta cut this head hole out of this. Okay, so I made sure the head is wide enough and long enough so it snugly fits over my head. And then I trimmed off the sides. I gave it 5 different sides, or I guess 4. But as you notice, it's pointy, but not too pointy. I was getting a little carried away, but you know, simple is better. Sometimes less is more. But anyway, what we're gonna do is use buckles and straps like I have on my entire project to attach the pauldrons to the gorget. So it's like a oval, but it's wide enough. As you see here, I just attached them and then I glued them to where I thought that they looked good in resting mode. And I just eliminated the adjusting feature because, you know, there's not really any point to that because I'm the only one that's really going to be wearing these pieces of armor. But they are at least detachable, so it has that luxury. Okay, it functions pretty well. Now, as you can see, there's these slots that allow my arm to move in, but we need to add pieces of armor to guard my arm as well. Now, using the same method I used to make the gorget piece, I just made sure the inner piece of cardboard was a tighter radius than the one on the outside. So when the hot and Gorilla Glue dried, it would keep the shape. And this one's ready to go. And this is just for one arm, so if you didn't know, you gotta make 2 of these. I cut them into 3 sections. So I cut them so that they're all roughly the same length while they're cupped in like this. So when I attach them together with elastic, they'll look like this, and your arm will just slide in. Okay, so you see how it like kind of holds its shape and it cups around the armor like that naturally. I might end up using a strap and buckle to connect the 2 around the bicep here, but that's going to be covering over the bicep, and then we're going to use the remaining elastic strap to glue it to the pauldron. Now is a good time to take note of like how long this takes to make. This part is a little time consuming. Notice how I sealed all the edges with hot glue. That's for the quality of this project. This part takes a while, so the more time you spend on this, that's okay. It's a part of the process. So all right, I did the other one. This is what it looks like on the inside. See how it cups over the bicep like that. I ran out of buckles and clips. I'm just gonna have to use a piece of elastic strap that just goes around here that snugly holds the bicep in place, so it doesn't slip out underneath whenever I move my arm. This is all supposed to be one cohesive unit of armor. Here's how it looks on this side. So I painted the pauldrons and the gorget a dark hammered metal, and here's the gorget and the other pauldron. Remember, we're trying to keep this whole armor set like dark Gothic German aesthetic rather than like shiny Milanese. But anyway, I've decided to just permanently connect the pauldron with elastic straight to the arms. This is what it looks like. It's like football shoulder pads. It's like pick it up from the center. I know because I've played. But notice how you can still detach the buckles right here. That's just always a nice option. However, I discovered the easiest way to actually put this on, unless you have a squire to help you buckle those because they're hard to reach while you're wearing the armor, is to just keep it like this and throw it on as one piece as it is. Take note, if you're making cardboard knight armor, not to make it too snug because you want to be able to put gambeson or some kind of sweatshirt on underneath. That was the mistake I made with my last proper cardboard knight set. Very satisfied with the shiny gloss feature it kind of has. Makes it feel more like real metal, and it's something different than my typical Milanese shiny armor. And I just the darkness. It's awesome. I love it. Here's the flexibility without that on. My favorite type of pauldrons are the ones that are very big and have that gap right there where you see my arm be able to move. It's not 100% mobility, but it's definitely pretty good considering it's cardboard armor. And all the weight is on the Gorget piece, and it's taking the weight off the arms. The arms are not sliding down at all. They're staying in place, so that's one advantage to the Gorget. So let's see what it looks like on top of the cuirass. As a matter of fact, I made a video called How to Build Basic Cardboard Armor, where I made a very large Gorget piece, which is supposed to also function as basically chest armor, assuming you're wearing like brigandine underneath or gambeson. And it's basically the same thing as what I just built now, just minus the arms. As you can see, it has the pauldrons and the arms, the re-brace protectors. It's supposed to function the same way, but it's kind of like the cheaper, underdeveloped cousin of what you see here. So if you want to learn how to build the basics of this, what you see, try your best and wing it, or check out this tutorial. It's basically the same thing, but a bigger Gorget piece. And I used the same exact principles when I was building this. So let's put on the cuirass now. I made a design flaw when I built this cuirass. One, I can adjust it so it's not too bad. It's kind of skin tight, but I can loosen all the straps. These buckles are way too far back, and I did that with my first armor. The reason I did it back there is, so my thought process was I take hits from weapons. I wouldn't want my buckles to be exposed, because if you hit them, they'll break, and then this will fall off. But I realized that won't even if it does happen, they'll be fine. And, it's hard as shit to reach back there and find where they are, and then, so that was a design flaw that I have to fix. Another thing is, as a knight, you would have a squire get that for you anyway, so technically, I shouldn't have to put this on myself, but I do. So, anyway. Oh. That's gooder. There we go. This feels so cool to wear. It feels so complete, but I'm missing a helmet, gauntlets, and I forget the name for the extra shield. I'm talking about something called a Grand Guard, not the other thing. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they both basically do the same thing, and I'm going to build a custom one, Grand Guard, for this armor set. I'm going to build, in the next video, a feature where you can hook on the extra piece of protection for when you want to joust, because you'll be delivering the blow with the lance in this hand, and that's the customization benefit of this armor. And any armor I build, I want to be able to joust, be on foot, and, do other badass shit. But, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like these builds that I do, like and subscribe for more videos.